to his trophy case alongside his regular season MVP and a 2016 silver medal at FIBA America Under-18 Championship. Here's Finals MVP odds. Brew, huge favorite, obviously. Jalen, close. Siakam, and then Halliburton in fourth.
Not close at all.
Yeah.
For the non-gamblers, that's close.
Minus 550 to plus 750 is second.
I'll tell you what, Halliburton's very far away. Brew, what would a Finals MVP mean for SGA?
That he is Mr. Thunder. In fact, win or lose the finals, like as long as he wins the finals,
as long as they win the
championship, whether he's MVP or not, he is Mr. Thunder, meaning he is the greatest Thunder player ever.
Huh.
Ahead of, that's saying a lot,
Who is it right
obviously.
now?
I'd say Kevin Durant right now.
And I think Thunder fans probably say Russ, but I agree with you, it's Durant.
Yeah.
Just because Russ
you
has
could say Russ is Mr. Thunder because he did stay and all that. But the best player they've ever had is Kevin Durant. Now, I am not saying historically, like you do your top 50 players, if I had to rank guys, I still would have Durant ahead of SGA after this finals. If, you know, assuming OKC wins and he's MVP. But for the Thunder, Kevin Durant is, SGA is the best player, will be the best player they've ever had. And that includes Seattle's guys. Gary Payton, Sean Kemp,
Gus Williams,
downtown Freddie Brown, Gus Williams, all those guys.
Sick.
Yes, so I think that's it. Here's another thing, Nick. The three best players in the world, and I don't know if you have him in there because you might have Luka. I got, obviously, Jokic, Giannis, and SGA. All of them were slow starters in their NBA career. Like, SGA made his first All-Star team in his 5th season. Giannis and Jokic, it was in their 4th season. So I don't know if that's, maybe that can give players some incentive, some motivation. Jalen Brunson, obviously, a late bloomer, if you will. And so that's just something unique as well.
I'm put you on the spot here. Where is he ranked for you? Is he first, second, or third? You just said top 3.
I think Jokic is best. I'd probably say third.
Third. You still have Giannis ahead of him. So I think that's totally fair. That's probably how I would have it too. I also totally understand and I would rather have Luka, but I can't say Luka's better than him.
Wow. See,
I just can't.
I'm surprised you're still there though.
Yeah,
and
because
Luka's great.
I think that there are some drawbacks, understandably, to being heliocentric as a player. There are also some positives, which is, when you are at your peak, you bring your team to a level almost automatically that other guys necessarily can't. You know what I mean? Which is you raise the floor because you control everything, and it's like, okay, you're gonna win 50 games.
Yep.
You're gonna be in the playoffs. I understand Luka missed players a couple years ago, but maybe the ceiling isn't as high as SGA, where, but if you get the right pieces around him, all of a sudden.
But don't you think it's harder to build around a Luka than an SGA?
I think that's how it has turned out. I also think that when Presti made the Paul George trade, if included in the Paul George trade instead of SGA was Luka and a team with that GM and those assets, and that was like, hey, build the perfect team around this guy. Would Luka have already won a champion? I do think, but
so would you put Luka third?
I think fair. I think the accomplishment has to be the accomplishment, and he's going to have 2 things Luka doesn't have: a league MVP and a title. So he deserves to be third. I'm just saying, for me personally, if it's like, hey Nick, who would you rather have? But I just want to show people the list he'll join. So active players who have won a Finals MVP. Some legends, Jaylen Brown, who's not a legend, I'm not trying to take a shot, and Shai.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, I don't look at this as, okay, those last 2 guys don't fit the picture. I kind of look at it as Shai, who now has 3 straight years top 5 MVP voting, 3 straight years 30 points per game, a scoring title, a league MVP, soon to be a Finals MVP, I think. He fits that group of guys.
Yeah.
And guards to win MVP and the championship that year, that's the list. I had them put that note line on the bottom for you, KW. Jordan did do it 4 times.
See, I prefer just visually if there's 4 pictures of
4 Michael Jordans.
It drives it home more.
But Brew, that's unbelievable.
No,
It's
well, and you know this. You might even have a graphic for it. If you chop it to win MVP, win the title, and the Finals MVP, now you're taking Steph out of there.
Yep.
It's just Magic, Jordan, and SGA, right?
Yes. Kuzi, they didn't have one yet, but yeah, that's what it would be.
The other thing, Brew, just to go back to your main point here, on how unique of a time it is just to be, honestly, alive and being able to turn on the television and watch a franchise's greatest player. So in the current NBA, there's two guys who are currently their franchise's greatest player of all time.
Well, the Nuggets for sure.
Yep.
He just said the Thunder.
Is there anybody else? Steph.
Giannis.
I think there's a good amount.
I was doing a Giannis.
You probably go Giannis over
Giannis
just because he spent more
because
time
they
there.
both, yeah.
Stayed there 12 years.
Steph, you're going to do Wilt? Steph, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, no, for the Warriors for
Steph.
sure. Because
right.
this is the point Brew, I think, was making. Like,
As with that franchise.
the greatest player to ever play for the Miami Heat is LeBron James.
Right.
The greatest Miami Heat is Dwayne Wade. You know what I mean?
A franchise's greatest player, but it's rare to have that happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think
It'd be interesting to run
there's
through
four no-doubters. I mean, Wilds, you're leaving one out that I can't believe you left out. It's an obvious one for you.
Shingun?
No, Akeem played there. No, LaMelo. It might be.
Honestly, when I was writing it down, I was going through.
Larry Johnson.
Yeah, Larry
Or
Johnson.
Alonzo. I mean, it's not a long
Glenn
list.
Rice?
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about success,
nobody
Glenn Rice,
Jordan
maybe.
drafted.
Probably Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson or Glenn Rice?
Yeah, this is, I don't know if this is interesting to
off
the
the top of
audience.
my
I
head.
love this exercise. Who's the greatest Clipper? Is it Blake? The greatest Clipper of all time. Elton Brand, Blake.
I think I'd say
it's
Chris
not
Paul.
It's not Kawhi.
Not Chris Paul?
I don't know if he's there long enough.
I like Blake.
I'll probably go Chris
But I say
Paul,
Jokic, Steph are the two that it's not debatable.
Right.
Yeah.
I argue it's Giannis.
Shai
You
would be
agree
it.
with me.
Yep.
And Shai,
And now
I think,
this.
is debatable. It's debatable, I think some would
Well,
say.
we said Halliburton, if they were to win this title,
Yeah, that was
and I mean, he hadn't clothed
I know,
himself in
that was
glory.
that could be a full podcast.
I was
on
going to
what's
say,
right.
wow,
could.
that's the type of thing that if I brought up, you
I
would
knew I was
kill
just
me
I was like,
for.
oh, that's an interesting take.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
We're in a unique. It's to turn on the television and see the franchise's greatest player. Meanwhile, friend of the show, Kevin O'Connor, wrote an article about Kevin Durant's wish list, and Kevin, added his own teams to Kevin's list. These are wild card teams, Brew, okay? First one, the Magic get Kevin Durant. The Suns get Jonathan Isaac, Anthony Black, Chet Howard, 25th overall pick. That's like
Just pulled the report on Goga Batazzi.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In any event, bro, what are you doing? You're making memes out here. What are you doing?
If that's the trade, sign a brother up. I mean, really? And pencil in, assuming health, the Magic
For the finals.
the Eastern Conference Championship and maybe a chance to win the whole thing. They would be Durant with Banchero, Franz Wagner, both Wagners, Desmond Bain they just got. Yeah, and they would have
Suggs, who was
phenomenal.
out with
Suggs is a
injury.
great defender.
Yeah.
Great defense.
No, that team would
All
be
they
awesome.
need is shooting, and they'd have Bain and Durant.
I'm the
I just
Suns,
don't
I'm
think
like,
there's any way you're getting that for that package.
Right. So
but absolutely,
I
oh
agree
my
with
gosh.
KOC that this team would be awesome. And they would all of a sudden go from, man, we don't have enough shooting, to having one of the three best three-point shooters in the league in Bain and the best mid-range shooter maybe ever, like certainly
In
on the
the
very short
discussion.
list in Durant. So I love that for the Magic.
gosh.
I think Matt Ishbia just broke a television
Thank
looking
you,
at that.
thank you.
I
I
just
mean,
don't think he would accept
When I
it.
saw that, I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
oh,
go ahead.
really?
All right, next up, going to Detroit. The Pistons receive Kevin Durant. The Suns get Tobias Harris, multiple picks. And again, I'm sorry, we're near the
Simone
bottom.
Fontecchio.
I don't crush a lot of Simone Fontecchio highlights.
Fontecchio, I said it wrong, sorry.
I'm sorry. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Do you like this fit, KD in Detroit?
So I thought I thought any realistic Detroit trade would have to include Ivy. And so
I think it would.
right, and so but here is what I would say. I wouldn't pencil them in for the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, you know what I mean? That's not, to me, one that is necessarily enough there, even if they only give up that.
I agree. I think if I could get it for that, sure, I'll do it.
And it'd be a bunch of picks.
But I still don't think they're winning the East.
Okay.
I agree. I wouldn't pencil.
Head over to Denver. See, I like this one. Denver gets KD. The Suns get Michael Porter Jr. in his huge contract. Peyton Watson, Strother, Hunter Tyson, and a 2031 first-round pick. Durant in Denver.
If I'm Phoenix, I'm trying to get more, but I like this. Of all the picks, the trades we've seen so far, this is the best one. At least I get an MPJ. Peyton Watson's valuable. Strother's got some talent. Like, that's better than the other two. And for Denver, of course, you'll love it. Now, their bench would be thin, but Durant with Jokic, my God.
That team could definitively win the title.
Yes, absolutely.
I understand that the lesson of the Thunder and the Pacers should be young players, depth, a bench, and this abandons that entirely. Don't care. And
they almost beat OKC with what they have.
What I would say is, I wonder if you could get again, I don't know if Matt Ishbia is a drinker, and if he is, I don't know what his drink of choice is. Well, let's say it's old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned.
Get just enough old-fashions in Matt Ishbia and show him enough of the right Michael Porter Jr. highlights where I feel like, because Porter is intriguing. For the if you haven't watched,
he was compared to as a draft pick.
It was
Durant.
compared to Durant.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched a lot, if you've only watched the highlights of Michael